too bad, my bad. Yeah. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Ay. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Yeah. Friday, payday, run it back. Ay. Run it back, run it back, run it back. Ooh. 48 yards, I run it back. Ay. I cop a car, I run it back. Yeah. Go yo, then run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. Hello, that's the Jag calling. Let me click over real quick to let my Jag talk it. I eat it, ooh, Pac-Man. That's the way my neck talking, right? I ain't never coming back.
Well, Coach, the seating capacity is 65,000 at Ford Field, and we are right around that number today. A good crowd on hand and seemingly ready to go in the Motor City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Now Rosen on first down. It's caught by Mike Evans. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. 14 yards there on the first play from scrimmage.
That's a catch of some significance. It's number 631 of his career, and why that's significant, it ties him with Hall of Famer Raymond Berry.
He was one of the most precise route runners at any position during his time in his career. So I think that we're seeing something very similar here. He may not have known Raymond Berry, but he goes about his business the same way. Understands how defenses are going to play, understands where the leverage is, and goes away from it to the tune of 631 catches.
On 2nd and 9, Rosen. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Golladay. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. First down Lions on a pickup of 13. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 47. Rosen hands off to Johnson, and a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet.
Check, 59, 59. Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball.
On 3rd down, Rosen. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, how about the passing numbers so far on this first drive?
Oh, no doubt about it. They're flinging it around pretty successfully. And look at the start. The confidence level.
Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And the Vikings pick up the football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Not the trend he wanted to start the season with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coaches, and if someone had a particular problem carrying the ball and holding on to it, that was noted. Hey, make sure you get a little extra attention to him. Get after the football. He's dropped it the last couple of games.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think they're ahead of schedule now after that run. They might be bold with this 2nd down call after that type of a game.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. To throw, it's Garoppolo. Johnson's got it complete. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
First down, Vikings.
Here we go. Let's go, team. It's going to be a long day on this. It's going to be a long day. Yeah, check. Hey, Mike. Hey, no, switch the mic right here. We'll go Mike first.
Garoppolo now, 1st down throw. And his throw is incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And it's 2nd down. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
Switch.
Now a play fake. Garoppolo. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
But when you're going up against a talented receiver like that, you just know that they're going to bring more people to him, right? They're going to double cover him every chance they get.
And I think that is what we're going to see all game long, an early taste of that double, maybe even sometimes triple coverage we might see.
Yeah, I think what they're counting on, his talent to sometimes beat that double coverage.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. From the 40 now on 2nd down. Rosen. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a 1st down. Well, starting drive number 2 off on the right foot. Completion for the first down. Drive 1 that had to be pretty frustrating because they moved the football. They just didn't get any points out of it.
But warm-up QB, too. Let's bring in the backup. I mean, my goodness, you take them downfield and you don't score points. You know I'm being totally facetious here, right? I'm just kidding. Nice first drive. Rarely do teams score on every single drive in a game, but they like what they did there. They just hope they can pay it off this time with some points.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now Johnson. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on 3rd. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And now it's Rosen looking. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Incomplete. He was covered by Steven Nelson.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
On 2nd down, they'll run with White. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. They'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a 1st down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Hey, we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving.
Rosen will throw. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to take off with it. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
The best quarterbacks that ever played the game all wanted to blend in with their teammates and be one of the guys. But sometimes you got to take modesty and put it aside. You're the franchise quarterback, the face of the team, and the guy that leads them to victory. You have to get down and protect yourself and not take hits like that.
11 yards there and a Lion 1st down.
So that's what that elbow in my ribs was all about. You thought they were going to throw the ball as well.
Absolutely. I think everybody thought they were throwing the football, caught him off guard.
Yeah, I'm telling you, when you have the courage to make that type of a play call, a lot of times you actually get rewarded.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys that just gave up that play.
Check, 59.
And they'll throw it with Rosen. He completes it to Evans. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a 1st down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Good soft, baby. That's big soft.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Rosen. That's to his running back, Kerryon Johnson. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It'll be a gain of 4. And they're going to face a 3rd down.
Let's go, D. Big series right here. We got to step it up.
Now Rosen looking to throw. This is White on the screen. The screen good for 6, but it's not enough as it leads to a 4th down.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second, it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a 1st down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches.
Yes. Mike 5'9". Yeah. You don't want nothing. Yes. 59 Mike. 59 Mike. Check. 59.
Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down. Now Giorgio Tavecchio for the field goal try. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost, and the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
You sound like you're going negative on me.
I was.
It sounds like you're thinking the 3 is just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So.
Well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
Here we go.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
And as for others who like to blitz even on rundowns, it confuses the blocking assignments and doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Jim. Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
Johnson. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the 1st. Couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 1st downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
They go play action here on 1st down. And the catch made by Johnson. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
Go.
Garoppolo. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 39.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
2nd quarter, 2 minutes remain, 3-0 our score. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. The 1st down carry here for Johnson. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the 2nd half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the 1st half. Maybe not so much in the 2nd half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position, you have to be. You just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball.
It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
Here we go.
They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a 1st here on 3rd down. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. The open man is Smith. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A big gain of 28 as the drive continues. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
One, Omaha.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Vikings slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside.
Here we go.
Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And it'll be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. The 40, 20, 10, and he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. On for the extra point, Giorgio Tavecchio. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now Garoppolo. He sets to fire deep. But when this ball's tipped, Williams loses the football. Garoppolo, 4 out of 10 throwing the ball in this first half, but he's got a first down here.
Hey, alert! 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 My 40! My 40! I'm here all day. Check nickel, nickel, nickel. Alert 3, alert 3.
So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. Open here, Adam Thielen. So we have reached halftime with our score 10-0 as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out.
He's coming, he's coming, he's coming. We got double up, double up. Take 4, take 4. 11.
Garoppolo again here on 2nd and 10. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. He's picked off at his own 47. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. Cooper was the intended target. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. From the shotgun, it's Rosen. And a big loss here as he's taken down. So they come out of the locker room trailing, but plays like that, they won't be trailing much longer. Defense really starting out well this second half.
Yeah, they knew they had to jumpstart things a little bit. They really struggled in the first half trying to slow them down, but now they had a plan, made that adjustment that we always talk about, and it worked very well on that play.
He'll get this one to Galladay. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They find themselves down 13-0 here as they try to get things started offensively. 1st and 10. They begin the drive with Johnson. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. Going deep for Diggs. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off around the 41. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
baby. Let's see what you got.
On first down, it's Johnson looking for a seam but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Darren Lee there to get him down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. Open man is Galladay, complete. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 11 yards there and a Lion first down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Watch the run, watch the run.
First down, here's White. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now it's Rosen. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Throw left side, taken in by Galladay. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Through an opening, and there he goes. He's at the 50, the 30, past the 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So from one end zone all the way to the other. Talk about a turnaround.
And how about the excitement that that play generates for his team? Not just the points on the board, but the momentum and taking it from coast to coast, end zone to end zone. What a tremendous play. Now get that man an oxygen tent.
That's your boy Old Mo. You said momentum, right?
Old Mo, I think he's kind of limping across at the end because of that distance, but he made it.
Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and it's now 13-7. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run it with Johnson. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Watch the curl. Watch the curl.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Mike, 180. Check.
Here's White. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be third and about a foot or 2.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The offense on third down tonight, they've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. Here's Johnson. Yeah, boy, from up here, I don't think Johnson got there. No, he did not. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well.
And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
Well, that takeaway, partner, right there, that's a combination of coaching, execution, and absolute belief. Because a lot of guys will look at the scoreboard and go, this thing's pretty well done. But they still thought to themselves, if we can make a play, we give our teammates a chance to win it. And that's exactly what they did.
Tracy Walker in on the tackle.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down.
I got this.
They go to Johnson again. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7.
Check. Front is the Vikings. Squeeze. Rip left.
From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And that's caught by Smith. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
1st down, Minnesota.
Here we go. 180. Get. You got take.
They run, Cook. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Keep playing hard.
This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the fourth quarter. Just rely more on the passing attack.
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters, you're still trying to convince the defense that you may run the football. That's out the window right now. Protect, let your quarterback operate, and try and find some targets in the open field downfield.
It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And a nice pickup there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yes, now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
On 2nd and goal, Garoppolo. And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs. His first touchdown of the new season, as his guys are an extra point away now from taking the lead here in the 4th. Gonzalez good on the extra point, and they have taken the lead here in this 4th quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
You always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Here's Rosen to throw. He finds his target. It's Evans. 1st down Lions on a pickup of 13. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as... I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Rosen now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. 4th quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's a quick throw complete to Galladay. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Well, I guess at the very least, they got the tackle from keeping him out of the end zone.
Yeah, you're looking for that silver lining, aren't you? But guess what? Everything changes now after that big play. They've got a chance to strike.
And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. They defer to White out of the shotgun. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And he's into the clear. He's at the 40.
the 20, 10, 5, and a cut to the... And this defense has broken it open as they return it to the house for 6. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room. Boy, they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave them a comfortable lead.
Gonzalez now to add the extra point. And with that, the lead is up to 8.
Next to score, Vikings 21, Lions 13. St. Gonzalez set to kickoff.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
The Lions take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time...
And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant. There he goes, right side.
Well, they needed the touchdown and the two-point conversion, but they're not going to get a shot at either. This is a great play here defensively, Brandon, and at a time that they sorely needed one. And that could be enough to help get them out of here with a victory.
It's first and goal and a late touchdown at this stage. Could officially salt this one away. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them.
It's a loss of 1. Brings up second and goal at the 8-yard line.
A great come-from-behind victory in this one, Charles, and really the difference, obviously, was that fourth quarter. They dominated.
And it has to start with believing that you can make that comeback. Because we've been in games before. We've done games where you can just look at one team and realize they have no chance of making it back. Not in the one we just saw here. They did it, and they did it well.
So for Minnesota, they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to New Orleans to take on the Saints. Meanwhile, for Detroit, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.